Hi, everybody. Welcome to this midweek edition of the Other Park Talk Show. As always, it's a delight to have you guys here. We hope you enjoy the conversations we've been putting out in the past, and you're here for more. Today, we are going, amongst many topics, we are going to settle on the upcoming elections in Cameroon. We're going to talk about where the campaign is, what our predictions are for the upcoming elections, which is going to be Sunday after next. Cameroonians will be going to the poll to choose a president for the next 7 years, according to the Cameroonian constitution. We have a few videos lined up that we're going to discuss as we go, share our comments, share our thoughts. I guess we're just going to start with the general questions. What are your perceptions of the preparedness of Cameroonians to go to the polls? I'm trying to frame this in the background of all the present conflict in the north and southwest. Right now, there's a ghost town, um, and in other parts of Cameroon where life is supposed to be normal. What are your thoughts about the readiness of Cameroonian voters to be able to go in and cast their vote? Do you think they are motivated? Do you think they are not? Do you think there's timidness? What is your assessment of the situation?
Yeah, I mean, based on what I've seen on social media, and conversations I've had with my friends and family members and people that I know from back home, I think that there's definitely great momentum. A couple of weeks ago, I was a little bit skeptical as to how the political parties are doing in terms of campaigning,
Mhm.
but I get a feeling the past couple of days have it's gathered steam. I My understanding is the official campaign season started September 27th.
Mhm.
Official campaign season, and I don't know if these political parties were waiting for that campaign season to be officially open for them to to kick off their campaign. I also know a couple of days back, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Mr. Atangaji Paul, was calling on the candidates to come to the ministry to the ministry and collect their campaign finance resources. Of course, during elections, those who are selected to run for office do have a sum of money from the state to help with the campaign, right? So I get the feeling that all this kind of cumulated to the boost that I see
Mhm.
in campaigns. It's not only about political parties and leaders going out to talk to the people, it's also about the turnout. I
Yeah.
have not seen a campaign rally that has been scanty. It's always a significant turnout. I've watched rallies by Joshua Osei in the Northwest, in Bamenda, in
Mhm.
Limbe. I've watched campaign rallies for Bello Buba Magari in the north and in Limbe, in
Mhm.
Douala. The turnout is really great.
Yeah.
However, I think it's important to qualify. What I know, my experience from Cameroon is that first of all, you take the number of people who have registered to vote,
Mhm.
right? I think it's important to take that into consideration. And then at the end of the day, see how many of these people actually went out to vote.
Well,
Most of the time, rallies are packed, not necessarily because people are not necessarily because people are motivated by the candidates or by the conversation, but just because of the ambience and sometimes the envelopes and the resources and the gifts that happen in that milieu, right? So when you see a rally of 5,000 people, I mean, how many of these 5,000 people are registered to vote, right? So it's good in one way because they're coming out and they're listening and they're engaging with the candidates. But again, it's like, did you really register to vote? Um,
mhm.
on the day, are you really going to go out and vote? That is something that weighs heavily on me when I look at the rallies, and then
Mhm.
talk about the preparedness in terms of the environment. We all know, in the northwest and southwest, the political, the unrest
Yeah.
that's happening, the amber situation that's happening down there. They declared a 1 month ghost town just because, again, elections are coming up on the 12th, and then of course today was October 1st, which carries at least some significance, right?
Right.
So people are forced to stay home. But even at that, people are still going out and rallies are still happening. So
Mhm.
in as much as people, are scared of what may the unknown in terms of what this Amazonian these fighters may choose to do, they're still, they're still risking themselves, risking their life to go out and engage in
Mhm.
political process that should be free and fair and open to everyone. Yeah, yeah, kind of that is what I'm observing so far. It's promising.
Yeah.
It's kind of promising. Not even to talk about the CPDM, which is a ruling party. I did not even mention them because for some reason they've always been out and active, and they've always had a massive turnout. They've been, I would say, every part of Cameroon there has been a CPDM rally. Doesn't matter how big, how small, even the small villages, there's always a CPDM representative going back home to rally support for the president, right? So
Yeah.
again, it's promising though. It is promising, I could say.
Yeah. Well, what a great summary. It shows your boots on ground and you're paying attention to everything that's happening in Cameroon. So I just want to piggyback on what you said.
Hmm.
Um, Absolutely, there has been some momentum. We have on this show on several occasions cried out about the lack of momentum, particularly an organized opposition.
Right,
And we are happy to see that there has been some traction on that front. So
right.
it's encouraging for people who want the market of ideas to be out there so that debates can happen, so that people
Hmm.
can choose a candidate of their choice. So it is wonderful to see that. It is wonderful to see people gathering and listening to alternate voices. My and I share your optimism. My little drawback is it might be a little too late. Um, it seems like the coalitions are happening a little too late, and it's difficult to gather momentum and present a united front. I
Hmm.
mean, we have videos lined up of people who are trying to unite together.
Hmm.
But we remember I was optimistic because we want a better Cameroon, no matter what political leanings you find yourself in. But um, it's going to move the needle for me from what I predicted back in July, August. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But again, it's good to be optimistic because it is frustrating when you're talking to people from other countries of origin and you have to make it sound like a 92-year-old has a better chance of winning a 7-year term. It's very sad. It's very
Hmm.
sad to think about it. But nevertheless, we're hopeful for the traction, me particularly with some skepticism. So we'll see. I don't know if you want to come in and comment on the little too late aspect that I threw in your assessment of the overall situation.
It has been a little too late, and we've been talking about the coalition for the opposition for the past couple of months. We've
Right.
known from the very beginning that, knowing CPDM, knowing I mean, I've lived in Cameroon most of my adult life, right? So
Yeah.
knowing the CPDM machine that
Mhm.
is on ground, I knew from the very onset. We've always known, even from the previous elections, that the only way the opposition can make a dent in an election is when they form a coalition, and
Right.
not just a two party coalition. We're talking about all the
More.
opposition candidates coming together. That has always been the only way that they could challenge. They could challenge the ruling party. I mean, they had a little bit of that. Was it 92 with Nijon, where
Right.
everybody rallied behind one political party, and that's the only way you could do it. They also had it a couple of years, last election we come to, where there was a significant rally behind a single candidate,
Right.
right? I remember Muna joined in that. I'm sure other political uh, uh, candidates joined Maurice Kamto during the last election. That is the only way you could threaten the government. So now there's no election. Everyone is frustrated, not just the citizens, not just Cameroonians. Even the politicians themselves are frustrated by the lack of their ability to form a coalition for many different reasons. I have we do have a video of. I think we should start with Akere Muna's frustration,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Yeah.
get to Kamto, because I think there's a little
Yeah.
bit more we want to talk about with
Mhm.
respect to what Professor Moise Kamto did, right? So we'll start with the video from Batonier Keremuna. The video is in Pidgin, which
Right.
I think that was the audience he was targeting, right? So we'll listen
Right.
to that, we'll comment, and then we kind of move on.
When time for take decision became rich, we will get a shining opportunity for change. What will you see? 11 different voices. Any man they talk his own, any man they talk his own. They go their own side. And this old regime is just the way they laugh. So the thing is, sorry man, sorry we all, but sorry we all. And not because probably I get power. And because we step, we don't divide ourselves. And we know state division. Maybe we poison. All people for this country, they cry, they say, una join now, they beg, we say, una move one man, una show one man. So we, if we all be together, we chakara this palava, we kill the country. But big heart, they don't pass to for nation. I want now talk for with two brothers them where they come from north, these honorable candidates. I they talk for them directly. Because all now, we too, we see them. When they resign, we clap. Say, thank God, say their eyes don't open. As they turn their back for that system where they became server. The same system where he bring with suffer. Cameroon and they say, we go forget all that palaver. And we go forget them because one more we all join hand for build a new country for all man. So this forgiveness where they don't give una take too weighty.
Your thoughts, Ghana?
Very interesting. I'm from the Northwest, live a lot of my life in the Southwest. So my political interests and experiences have always been from that region. So I'm not fully immersed into how deep the political involvement is in the far north. So I'm talking about the north of Cameroon. I'm talking about the far north, the north, the Adamawa and stuff like that. But from his comment, it shows that there is a huge political um, vote to sort of sway the election. That he's expressing his frustration why the two candidates from those parts of the country are not trying to unite. Again, not to belabor the point, but this is exactly what we have been saying. I mean, our concerns are mostly being those in the littoral, the northwest, the southwest, because those are the kind of politicians we're familiar with. I'm sorry, but UNDP is not that popular in the southwest or in the northwest. Okay, but it seems to me that he obviously who has traveled this region sees that there's a huge potential if these people come together, particularly people who have resigned from the government. Had these people put a united front, we'll be talking about a different situation. Up to now, he's thrown his weight behind Bello Boba Maigari. Issa Chiroma is still campaigning on his own. Okay, yeah, it's just the Cameroonian population is frustrated about the divided voices, about the lack of a unity in the opposition. It's nothing to write home about. They cannot convince people that they have a better alternative. It's just too many voices, too many egos, so much division that people are frustrated. And he articulated that very astutely, unfortunately.
So, what do you? I mean, what do you think about his views that Bello Buba and Issa Chiruma could have formed a coalition that could present a proper challenge to the
Right.
president, because he is not the only one who has made reference to those two. When we listen
Mhm.
to Professor Moise Kamto, he made reference to the same two
The
politicians,
same two people, yeah.
which tells me that there's something there up north.
Right.
My understanding is that they have a large population,
Yeah.
and a bulk of the population actually do go out to vote.
Yeah.
I am also made to understand that that is where the ruling party gets most or a lot of a significant proportion
Right.
of their voters, even seats in parliament, right? So there's definitely something there, which these candidates are somewhat identifying, right? Again, for me, that is something that is really
Yeah.
really important.
And that's what I
The,
said. It's new. It's new to me. I knew the North was important. I knew the CPDM did somewhat well in the North, but
right,
I didn't know how much of a weight it carried in the Cameroonian political landscape. It seems
right,
to me that this people's assessment is like it carries a lot of weight,
right,
and the division of these two heavyweights from these regions is a lot of has done a lot of damage to the idea of a united government.
mhm,
Um, it's just I have never traveled. The furthest I've gone is the central region. I have
right,
never gone further than that. So
right,
I'm kind of listening to this thing just around the peripheries and
mhm,
realizing that there is a huge potential from the north,
right,
Adamawa, far north and far north, that
right,
we who have been, you know, stayed around the southwest, littoral, central region have no idea, no idea. So it's not something I'm really comfortable commenting about, but it's
right,
just been eye opening to me to see that
mhm,
this division seems to be what is costing a lot,
right.
or has costed a lot for the opposition. I don't know about you. I don't know about your assessment. I don't know if you've traveled out those regions. I've never been there. Um, um, I'm not to dismiss their involvement, but
Mhm.
it is not something that I've been really on the ground to see how
Yeah,
it plays out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I hold the same position as you. What I know about the North is what I've read and what
Right. Yeah.
politicians are talking about. I don't have any real first-hand experience. But again, too, when you go to the parliament and you see the seats,
And you see them, yeah, you
you
see
see
the
the
seats in
region,
this room.
they are well,
And you see
really
the
well
ministers
represented.
too. Ministers appointed from the far north and
A
whatever.
lot
They
of
have
them.
a lot of positions.
Right,
A lot,
right,
a lot.
right, right.
Yeah.
One question I want to ask you, and I got this from again social media, from some political commentator from back home expressing some sort of a disappointment in
Hmm.
Akeremuna and the Anglophone political
Yeah.
for not picking an English speaking candidate and forming a coalition with them, or rely or
Hmm.
their weight behind that political
Right.
party,
English speaking
English
candidates.
speaking. My opinion is that he was referring to their support for Joshua Osei, who is
Precisely. Yeah.
sitting leading the SDF, which is probably the main Anglophone. Again, this I put this in quotes because
Yeah.
it's I mean, SDF is not really an Anglophone; it's a national party. It's not an Anglophone
Yeah.
party. But again,
Yeah.
this commentator felt Anglophone leaders could have, rallied behind the SDF Joshua Osei and promoted him in that way. Again, what do you think about a comment like that, or an idea
Mhm.
like that?
Well, I've never been the one to put out tribes or language speaking affiliations at the top of my priority. My priority is we should have a competent Cameroonian to be able to rule the country.
Mhm.
If that happens to be Joshua or see fine or Akeremona fine, but we should have someone who is competent. Okay, we decry tribalism and discrimination all the time in Cameroon, and then your first pick is that the person should be English speaking. Come on, that means you're not really serious with meritocracy. You have other things that are priority. You just want to see an English speaking person there. Okay, it doesn't matter what your policies are. It doesn't matter what they stand for. You are more interested in um, um, their identity because somehow it makes you feel good. I'm willing to vote for anybody that I think is competent. I just there to see who has the best idea for me, and that has always been my hope for Cameroonians. We should look at people not from where they are from or from what languages or what language they do speak, but what they can do for Cameroon. That's just been me.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree any less.
Yeah, I'm probably yeah. Which I and I know this is not the popular opinion because the way the political landscape in Cameroon is set up, it's almost like you are forced to be tribalistic. Okay? When they appoint somebody minister of, for example, territorial administration, if it's from Santa, you have all the Santa delegation come and celebrate.
Right.
What are you expecting? Okay, you say we thank the head of state. Okay, what does that mean? You're thanking him because it's from Santa, or are you thanking him because this guy is competent? Okay, did the head of state select him because he's from Santa? And I'm only using Santa for an example, but you get the point. Are you thanking him because he's from Santa, or are you thanking him because he's qualified? Okay, they appoint someone from the far north. Everybody from the far north come and give their congratulations and whatever. Uh, um, I don't know. It's so entrenched in the way we do things in our politics, in our society,
Mm-hmm.
um, um, that it is difficult to eradicate. And if you're very keen with the way politicians campaign, it is not only to find the best I mean, especially the way people vote too. It's not only to find the best qualified person. It's just to find your own person there. I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of Cameroonians, to a larger extent, Africans reason this way, has always been baffling to me. It's really not about competence. It's by having someone that you can identify with in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. I heard something very similar from Philemon Yang, who was one time
Hey,
prime minister
right,
of Cameroon. And the question the journalist asked was, "Hey, you guys sit in office. Are you guys going to claim that there's no young person, there's no woman
right.
who or shouldn't you guys be appointing younger people and women?" And then he had the same answers. Like, it's not about appointing
Right.
people for the sake of gender balance or
Mm,
ageism or regional thing. It's a matter of competence.
of
And you
competence.
can't just appoint people because you want to satisfy a certain group of people, or you
Right.
want to create a certain balance in the government. People need to be competent to do the job
They
that
have
you're
to become
putting
to
them
do the
to do,
job. Right.
right? So again, the journalist was more critiquing the head of state for just having old people in.
Right.
I think that was where they argue.
Yeah. When,
And then he's
and
like,
feel,
we
yeah.
need to
Sorry.
appoint because people are competent. You can't
Yeah.
just pick
Coming up.
someone from people
Right.
need to first of all build experience. And it takes
Yeah.
time and age to build
Oh, it
experience,
does.
right? You can't just pick a young guy because he's young and then put him
It's
in a
young
position and hope
because it's from his
for the
village.
best, right? So
Right.
again, it's the same kind
Same
of
line of reason.
argument. It
And
has to be
sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
qualified as opposed
You
to
have. Yeah.
just meeting a certain criteria.
Right. And Philemon Yang, to his great credit, he was one of the few people who refused all this tribalistic
Right.
phrasing when he was appointed vice prime minister. He said he's not receiving people from his village or the region who are just coming there because they are from his village or his region. So, to his great credit, he has been one who has stood for meritocracy and has not carried the bandwagon of tribalism, which seems to be part and parcel of the culture. It's not just the government, okay? It happens in every facet of our
Oh, yeah.
society.
Yeah.
It happens through admissions in schools, through recruitment, even in private sectors, through giving of loans. I
In
mean, all
banks,
those things like banks and stuff like that. You have Tarikun Credit Union or Bamboo Credit Union, Bamboo Credit Union. You know, when you start that, you already have an affiliation to Tribe rather than an affiliation for somebody to be able to do business. So I think it's my personal assessment that this is a huge job for Africa. There's a lot of putting people in position just because they have a certain characteristic that you like, or you identify with them in one way or another.
Okay, still on the coalition and where things are at. Professor Maurice Kamto came out about a week and a half ago. Probably one of the few press conferences he has
Yeah,
given since he
right.
he was sidelined from running for president. He
Hmm.
has not come out very much, and this was one of the
Yeah,
few rare occasions where he did. I think it was a televised speech. I
right.
have, of course, pulled out portions of the speech that I felt we've pulled out portions of the speech which we wanted to talk about today. So it's not
Hmm.
the entire thing; it's bits and pieces of the
Yeah,
of that statement, right? So let's we'd watch and then we would make our comments.
Have spared no effort to encourage an agreement between the UNDP and FSNC candidates in order to make possible a coalition, even of a limited one, of opposition candidates around them. In my view, this approach offered a real chance of victory that would respond to the deep desire for change that is rising throughout the country. The late entry into the race for the presidency of the two candidates from the northern part of the country, whom public opinion seems to consider the major candidates in the upcoming election, did not give them the time to make the multifaceted preparations necessary for either of them to hope to create a winning dynamic on their own. However, to the great disappointment of Cameroonians, no such candidate has been found. The following observations can therefore be made. 1. The absence of even a limited coalition of candidates, with the two candidates from the northern part of the country capable of pooling resources and creating a powerful popular dynamic likely to ensuring victory for the people in the upcoming presidential election. 2. The existence of deep divisions within the population, particularly among supporters of the UNDP and FSNC candidates, because of the failure to agree on a single candidate between the two. 3. The prospect of a scattering of votes that could seriously compromise the chances of victory for an opposition candidate. As a result of all the above, we, Maurice Kamto, and the Political Alliance for Change, PAC, which supported my candidacy, have come to the conclusion that it is appropriate to leave each voter fully responsible for voting freely in good conscience for the opposition candidate of their choice in the presidential election scheduled for 12 October 2025. Long live Cameroon.
I'll let you go first. Thoughts?
Disappointing, sad, discouraging, annoyed. I'm just listing all the
Yeah,
emotions
move
that I'm
on.
feeling
Right.
right now,
Right.
listening to Maurice Campbell, and we've had the opportunity to listen to this for maybe a week or so now. Um, um, I- we were doing shows about the elections maybe back in July, and we had before he was sidelined, we were very hopeful that Maurice Kamto was going to be the one to represent the opposition, and people were going to align behind him and support him. To our greatest surprise, and a lot of it is his fault, he was sidelined by the Constitutional Council. So we were disappointed. At that point in time, I had lost all hope. And I knew this was done and dusted. Okay, and share some optimism if the people of the North can unite. But I knew that when Maurice Kamto was out, that was it. Okay, but he too, to his great credit, has also seen the need of the voice. I've heard the voices of Cameroonians about their disappointment in candidates coming together to be able to support the united front. He has specifically spoken about the people from the north. Again, this is new to me. I was not very invested in that part of the country, but he, like other Cameroonians, has is disappointed by that fact, and so are we. We've shared that multiple times, and more importantly, he is not throwing his weight behind anybody. Okay, um, and then another thing that is so discouraging is, where is Morikanto now? Is he MRC? Is he Manidem? Is he APC? What is he? He just said APC or something in the
PAC.
last, or PSC. What is that? I don't even know what
PAC,
that
it
is.
seems like it's a coalition.
It
The
was supposed to be a
coalition.
coalition
Yeah,
that he was supposed to lead or something.
yeah,
I'm not
something like
sure.
that, right?
Right. Um, um, I don't know. I'm just putting myself in the place of his supporters. Like, what are they supposed to think right now? Okay, who
Yeah.
are we supposed to vote for? We're not voting for you. You're not endorsing anybody. Where are we supposed to go?
Hmm.
Okay. So it is very disappointing. It's sad, and it's shocking that we are on the way to have what term is it? The seventh or the eighth term of a 92-year-old.
Hmm.
I am very sad. I'm disappointed. But again, I'm a realist. We saw this, we called this out months ago when Maurice Kanto was sidelined. A lot of it his fault for not following through with his legislative duties as the primary opposition party of Cameroon. Um, he should have been the one trying to garner the support of all the opposition party so that he can be the leading candidate.
Hmm.
But it's sad to see where we are, and it's really, really unfortunate.
What do you say to those who say that his decision to, first of all, not endorse a candidate, second of all, not coaching or directing
Right.
his followers to a certain, I might not endorse a candidate, but I might nudge my supporters to a certain direction, right? He didn't do that. He
He
left
didn't do
it
it.
to the conscience of Cameroonians,
Yeah.
which tells me that he's looked at the situation, he washed
He
his
was his
hands
hands.
and say we are done. It's like the final nail on the coffin.
Right.
He's just given the ruling party the victory that
Another thing.
they knew that they were going to
Yeah.
get, like just
Right.
just giving it to them for free. This is
That
for free.
that that's just short of saying, it's just short of saying congratulations, Paul Biya. You won another 7 years
That,
term.
to me, that is how it came across as. It's like
That's just short of saying that.
you bowed to
Yeah.
the victory of the ruling party, which
Right.
is very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Well, we would have a conversation about that, but I might be able to understand why he might not be willing to officially endorse a
Right.
candidate,
Yeah.
but I don't understand why he can't nudge his supporters to the direction of a particular
Mm.
candidate. Say
Right.
something nice about one person. Say something favorable about one person without
About one
necessarily
person.
saying go vote for this guy. I could
Right.
say, this guy seemed to be a very, a candidate who would, do, work for the people. It's not
Right.
an endorsement per se, but it tells your followers and anyone who's listening that maybe I should consider this or that candidate. That was very disappointing, in my opinion. Very disappointing.
Right.
In my opinion, it's self-centered. It's egoistic. It's
Right.
me or no one else, because that is the impression I'm getting. He is saying, because it's not me, there's no one else competent
You
or
know.
fit enough
Right.
to do what I thought I could do. Right? To me, that
Mm.
is how he came across.
Right.
There's
It was
also,
just.
yeah. Go ahead
Sorry.
before I
Yeah.
continue. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just short of saying congratulations, Bia. That's exactly what he said. Like, that's the logical conclusion from his statement.
Mhm.
Congratulations, Paul Biya. You won at 92 years old. You have won another 7 year term. So by the end of your next term, you'll be 99 years old. Okay. Let that sink into the head of Cameroon. And to be fair to him, too, he said, like, this part, Cameroon, the political stage, the political level of Cameroon right now, it's not that we're looking at the CPDM manifesto and the other manifesto to say, oh, we're comparing two things.
Mhm.
We just want change. People just want change. Whatever the change is, people
Mhm.
just, even if we're living from fry pan to fire, as they say,
Yes. They want change
we,
for the
ju-
sake of change,
we just want
not for the
change.
sake of
Okay.
progress.
Not for the sake of progress. People are fed up and tired of the regime in place. They just want something different. I am getting close to my 4th decade. You're probably somewhere around there. We have only known one president. That is very shameful to say it even amongst your African peers, talk less of your Canadian or American or European friends. That is very shameful. People just want something different, at least something different. People are fed up and tired and everything. Okay. And then Maurice Kamto, when he was sidelined, I think it was our suggestion, and we are nobody, it was our suggestion, or at least our thought, that he would be the leading voice of a united coalition.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be the one to galvanize people to come and present a united front so that Cameroonians can see that, oh, there is another option. We don't know whether it's going to be better or it's going to be worse, but at least there is another option. He, in my honest opinion, he failed in that. He failed in that. Okay, because he's making this statement. He made this statement maybe about a couple of days back, 5 days
Yeah.
back. Yeah, about 3 weeks to the elections.
Mhm.
Come on now, come on. I didn't see him, or maybe I didn't see him going out there to woo people to find. Okay, come, let's sit together. Let's see where we can agree. Let's
No.
see where we can put heads together and find something united. And then you come at almost less than 2 weeks to the election and you make a statement like that. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed.
It's like the sheep abandoned, the shepherd abandoning
He did abandon his ship, right?
halfway to their destination, or and hoping that each
Right.
sheep would find their way to where they're supposed to go.
It's basically-
It is sad. The
It's,
analogy is probably terrible, but it comes across like that, right? It's like
yeah, it's like
it,
that. Yeah.
it is like that. But
I mean, think of the disappointment that we had to go through to realize that he was being sidelined, and a
Mhm.
lot of people did not even know about the Cameroonian law. Tangaji did say this. It's part of the law. You have to have legislatures in the parliament for you to be able to run for president. Like, are you just a figurehead? You can't be the president. And you don't have anyone in the parliament to be able to vote on your laws. Like
Mhm.
that makes absolute sense.
No sense.
And then another thing, look at the demeanor of Maurice Kamto. He looked defeated.
Defeated.
Making that speech. There
Zero
was no
energy.
excitement. There was no energy. There was just disappointment. He looked disappointed and defeated. You could just see it in his demeanor. Okay. Like, if you're a Maurice Kamto supporter, what are you supposed to take from that? Vote according to your conscience. Okay.
Yeah,
Or not vote at all.
he looked deflated. And
Okay.
again, some people argue that this is political positioning. He understands, of course, that there is the municipal and municipal elections coming up, 2026.
Yeah.
And so the argument that I get, which I got from our friends, people we normally talk to, is that he is positioning himself for the next election that is coming.
Right.
The worry is that if he endorses a candidate and encourages his supporters to go vote for them, right? When it comes to the next election, which is 2026,
Right.
what is he going to say about this candidate that he had just encouraged people endorse, first of
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
and then encourage his followers to go vote for, right? So
Yeah.
they say this is him safeguarding his lead for
His
any
political
elections
ambitions, yeah.
from his political ambitions, because again, elections are this. He needs the next election, which is the municipal
Right.
election, to start building himself for the next presidential elections. He
Right.
is, I mean, compared
Yeah.
to Paul Biya, he's a young man, right? So in 7 years, he might be able to run. He
Right.
might be able to. He might still be
Right.
able to run. So he
Right.
is
Right.
positioning himself
Right.
and looking into the future as opposed to looking, 3 weeks,
Mhm.
3 weeks ahead. He's looking 7 weeks, 7 years ahead,
7 years
because
ahead,
he
yeah.
is still going to run. You endorse a candidate today. You there's the municipal elections. What do you tell your people? Oh, come back. We that candidate was a terrible idea. Or 7 years from now, do you, when you're running against that candidate
That's
that
the
you're
thing,
endorsed today, what
yeah.
do you say, right? So
Fair point.
that is the argument which initially I was like, this Campton man disappointing. What is he doing? But again, when you present it in
It
that
makes
manner,
sense.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it
politics,
does
it's
make
a game,
sense.
right? It's
Right. Hmm.
if you're not self-centered, you probably are not a very good politician,
Yeah.
because most of the time politics is about, especially with the leaders, it's about them. So this is him positioning himself for
Himself
the
for the
next
next.
election. That
I
is
mean,
an
it makes
argument that
sense.
people are making.
It makes sense, but I would like to um, bring back the criticism that the great late Nigel Fundi was meted at his foot. He had been in the opposition for decades and decades, and people were looking at like him like, you have been here and you're leading this party for decades and you don't have anybody to replace you. But then you're criticizing the president in power that he has been leading the government for exact. So if you go to power, you're going to do the same thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old Maurice Kamto is. I think it's probably in his 70s or something.
Right. Right.
Still way
He's
younger
probably
than
old
Bobby.
too.
Still way younger than Bobby, yeah, for sure. But
Older
then
than, he will be older than Biden when he goes in for office.
when he goes in, I don't know exactly, but then his political ambition is greater than the need for change in Cameroon.
In the Cameroon, yeah, that is what he's telling us. Yes,
That's basically what he said. His need to become president is greater, and he is going to wait, even if it means that he's also going to be 90 and run again
he will.
to do so. So you really don't have anything to say against the opposition, against the ruling party. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
you really don't have anything because you will do the same. Okay, you are bent on running for president that you cannot groom a suitable coalition because it is going to harm your
Mhm.
potential. So it's just so the fingers that people keep pointing at Bia, four fingers are pointing right back at them.
We have situations right in front of our own eyes, but we don't learn from them. Take Senegal for example. I understand that what is his name? The current president of Senegal, the young guy.
Yeah,
He is the
something. I don't
protege
know.
of one of the politicians who was in prison, one of the opposition
Right.
leaders who were in prison.
Yeah.
He endorsed the current president. He endorsed this guy,
Yeah.
and everyone rallied behind, and he became president.
He was
And
the
now
president.
he was removed from prison and made vice president. Right? It is a clear example when people
Right.
come together, leave their pride and their ambitions aside, and and worry about the progress and the stability and the safety of the people
Of the country.
people
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
supposed to work for. Right? This is a very clear example. The Senegalese example is the clearest.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah. That
anybody.
guy is so what? He's maybe 46 now, 47 now.
He's a young guy, yes.
Very young guy. Yeah.
Anybody who's interested to go and read their story. It's the kind of story that we need to see a lot in Africa.
Yeah.
We need to see a lot in our politics. It's that the Senegalese story, that is what we need to see a lot of. Kamto knows about it. I'm sure he does. He's a savvy, I'm sure he knows about
He's
He's chosen,
very intelligent guy. Yeah. But
and he's chosen not to.
he's
There
chosen
is
not to.
there's currently one attempted coalition, managing coalition, a group of people coming together.
Right.
Batonier Akeremuna has endorsed
Bello.
the UNDP, Bello Buba
Yeah.
Magari. We also have the candidate Ateki
Who endorses Bello?
who
Caxton, something. Yeah.
is head of Liberal Alliance Party, who has also endorsed Bello Buba Magari.
Right.
Is that enough? Is it?
For me, it's a little too late. Yeah. I don't think that's enough. And again, this is not something that I've experienced. It has never been in my purview. The politics about the North, it's strange. And to me, listening to Akeremuna and to and Kamto, there is a lot of potential from the north of the country. Okay, so I'm just sorry. That has not been the milieu that I've been invested in. So I don't know, but apparently it's a lot to deal with. That's a huge chunk of the country, and they have a lot of sway in the political life of the country. And it's obviously saddening to everybody that they cannot come and unite. And we haven't even talked about the people of the south. So I'm thinking of central, littoral, southwest, northwest,
people, right?
Gabriel Libby and Joshua Osi and the other young guy, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, the other people suddenly everyone has been to Senegal to visit the grave of Amadi Ahijo. It's like they just discovered that Amadi Ahijo just died and was buried in Senegal. Like Like everybody's now posting a video of themselves in front of the grave of Amadi Aija. Like, come on
I'm
now.
not sure what they're trying to tell us.
Are you? Did you
We
guys
just
just
saw
discover that
yesterday
Amadi Aija?
that this guy
Yeah,
was buried in Senegal, and
in
uh,
Senegal. Did you just know that? Yeah, yeah.
would you agree that we got two of the most insignificant candidates trying to form a coalition with one of the front runners? Because again, Akere Muna, though he's been around for a long time, but
Right.
I don't know that he has a significant following anywhere, right? This Ateki guy is relatively young,
Like, who knows him?
relatively new in the political environment in Cameroon, has very little to no support. And
Right.
so when two insignificant candidates attempt or join a candidate like Bello Buba, who, should we call this a coalition? Like, what do they bring to the table? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
I mean,
I'm not.
both of them are from the English speaking part of the country. Maybe that's something.
I take it from where is that take it from? I don't know.
I believe he is from the northwest.
Oh, interesting. I
I
don't even
believe
know.
northwest.
I don't even know who the guy is. So, I'm sorry. I'm in around that front. But yeah, I don't know if that sways anything. I'm thinking big movements that would have swayed something is SDF.
Big names,
I don't
bigger
know.
names. Yeah,
They are
bigger names.
committed to their own agenda, to their own way of life, even if it means taking beating trying to resurrect the dying horse. They are committed to their own agenda. Um, who else? Kamto was the one, and I guess it's come out several times in this conversation. I I lost hope when Kamto was out. I actually lost hope. Um, a lot is being revealed to me about the North and their political potential, but I had lost hope since Kamto was sidelined, and more importantly, his inability to be the voice of a united coalition. That has I actually lost hope. So
Mm. Um, what did I want? Okay, I listened to an interview by Joshua say
right,
a little while ago, and the question that was being asked was why is he not talking about, or why is he not talking about joining a political party to form a coalition?
right,
And his argument was it threw me off. He's like, the SDF is a serious political party. We did not come this far, and this is me paraphrasing this and not
right.
his words, but we did not come this far to go join
Hmm.
another political party. We have a serious following. We are committed to our mission. We are committed to our followers and things like that. Yes, but is that the argument is that an argument? I mean, and just after coming from talking about the fact that we need change,
Yeah,
and then to go ahead and say no, even though we need change, we can't bend to the will of the people by joining a
right,
coalition because it's not us. It's not, if people want, they can join us, but we can't be joining others. That is
right.
the sense I got from that. I For some reason I couldn't find it to play it here, but it was quite intriguing that
Oh,
he would say that.
I always knew the SDF is going to take that position because they are committed. Even if it means resurrecting the dying horse, they are going to do that. Even if it means they have one vote, they're going to do that. Um, the SDF was a serious political party.
Yes.
They are no more. They have been cast out to oblivion, soon to be the abyss, because they have no political sway in the Cameroonian
Mhm.
scene, according to my assessment right
Yeah,
now.
they have five
They are,
parliamentarians out of
yeah,
180 or 185.
100 or something.
It's not
They are
as
not they are not in any serious contention in this upcoming election. They are just living on past glory. It is time to move off, to get off the high horse and to think that they have a serious political sway. They have been a total disappointment to the Cameroonian people, particularly to the people of the Northwest and the Southwest region. I am sorry to say this, as some of that region, the SDF has no potential in the Cameroon political scene. Okay, they are not movers or shakers. They are not even chilling with the big boys. Okay, we had a chance to go through we had a chance to go through their program.
Right.
They are basically civilians. They just
Repeat it.
want to be they just want to be the government power because they are
It,
doing exactly the
it,
same thing that is the CPDM is going to do.
it is
Okay,
exactly the same thing.
free
Free
public
public
health care.
education.
The
We are already
government we already have free public health, free public education up to secondary school in
we
Cameroon.
are already
The
doing that.
government, yeah, declaration of interest for state officials.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that going to change? Yeah, fair point. Okay, reduction of government size. Like
You
the
see,
SGA is standing for reduction of government size, and you're going again, and then you talk about free education, and you're saying you're trying to reduce the government. Really, if you go
university
through,
access with no age limit. There's
we know
never been
age
an
limit.
age limit in accessing
Universities. If you're
university.
50 year old, you can register in
I don't
university.
get it.
Like, like
Release of political prisoners, free. It's more or less the same. If you look at it,
release of political prisoners, free childbirth and healthcare. Okay, you want to shrink the government, and then you're
yes,
talking about free child healthcare and free child delivery and healthcare. How are you shrinking the government? You are instead going to make the government bigger. Okay, that means you have to have government hospitals and health centers everywhere controlled by the government. You
yes,
have to limit all the private sector. You have to limit and any entrepreneurial spirit in Cameroonians. If you're talking about providing free healthcare and free stuff and free, and in the same breath you say you want to reduce the size of the government. I'm sorry, you want to increase the size of the government. Okay, you want the government to be responsible of everything. The government is already failing in everything that they put their hand
you
in.
want to add
But
more.
your campaign is to come in and increase the government size. Oh, come on now. It's like
This
we even sorry.
so I just put up his 100-day end of
Yeah,
100-day balance sheet or report and call.
yeah.
And again, like
Conditional
like we said, there's no innovation. It's more kind of a replication or repeat of
it's
what
just
the
words.
government is actually doing now. Talk about conditional release of prisoners not guilty of a blight of
What do
blood
you mean by
crime.
what do you mean
What
by
does that
blood crimes?
mean? What does that mean? Blood crime. Most of they've either ordered the killing of someone, they have ordered the destruction of property. They might not
Right.
have participated.
Participated.
Uh, 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 um, 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 the heads of these movements did not participate, did not go down to Cameroon and burn houses, but they
No.
instructed either implicitly or directly for people to go carry out those actions. Are they not guilty of something? They're guilty of
Yeah.
something. Just
Yeah. What do you mean by blood
what do you
crime?
mean by blood crime? What is that? So
Oh Lord
unify
Jesus.
unify end military excesses, secure roads and infrastructures. How? Because again, it's not about just putting this thing out. It's telling us how you hope to do that.
How
How
you
do you
how you
want to
how you gonna
engage?
carry out that?
How do you want to engage with separatists or
Right.
militants who are hiding in the bush and don't want to come out because they are collecting money from
Money from people.
kidnapping and they are threatening villagers and what conversation do you want to have with some people like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you talk about safe reopening of schools with community
How?
peace commitments. Like all these things are fancy words. Like the practice and the pragmatism of it is far-fetched. How are you going to make it come to realization? Is the big question. Okay, and I'm sorry, it's just SDF is not a serious political contender in this upcoming election. They are a shadow of themselves. They are based on past glories. And I said it's a great disappointment as someone from that region. Like, I can't even vote for you guys if I had the opportunity to vote. You guys are not serious.
Finally, we want to talk about the head of state. The Papa back.
I
Papa, this pa no, this pa has he has I don't know what I don't know
mean,
what
hate him, yeah, hate him or love him. He has the grip that he has on Cameroonians and the Cameroonian political environment is something to be sad about, but at the same time to be astonished and marveled by. we just put it on our page a few days ago. Him traveling for vacation, literally less than 3 weeks to an election, and I
Who
think he
does
just
that?
told me that he came back today.
Who
But
who does that? Who takes a trip? Listen, watch the guy.
It was exactly 11:50 a.m. this Sunday, September 21. And here comes the presidential caravan with the presidential limousine, carrying on board the President of the Republic and the First Lady. On arrival at the Simalen International Airport amid tight security disposition, Paul and Chantal Biya immediately submitted themselves to protocol details put in place by the Chief of State Protocol, Simon Pierre Bikele. With some state dignitaries present at the airport for the farewell ritual, the presidential couple exchanged protocol civilities and a brief conversation, notably with the Prime Minister Head of Government, Chief Dr. John Gote Joseph.
What is he telling this man? Say, my brother,
I don't
man, go
know.
rest. The headache for the country too much. What is he telling John Gute? That he couldn't talk to him before he left the office.
yeah. And then half of the people who are greeting him and are still going to get in the plane with him and go to that vacation with him. Can you imagine that? The people who are in line to greet him will get in the same plane with him and go on vacation. Like we say this with a lot of comedy and a lot of funny, but it's sad and at the same time it's intriguing. Just to reiterate, the grip that this Papa has in Cameroon is it's amazing. If you want to figure out how to rule an African country and not say a word, but have a strategy to be able to make people loyal to you in such a way that during a campaign for maybe a 7 or 8 term, you don't say a word, you don't say anything, but you have an entire machinery working 100% for your re-election. You have to cut cafe. You have to. Okay, you might like the guy, you might hate the guy, but one thing that you cannot dismiss him is his setup of a machinery that has guaranteed his ability to win an election without even going out to campaign. That is astonishing. Even it does even in the United States, it doesn't happen like that. Even in China, even in Russia, it doesn't happen like that. Even here, you at least see Putin go out and campaign and tell the people why they need to vote for him again. Okay, you see Putin go and be prime minister and come back and be president. You will see Xi Jinping go out and talk to people again, vote for me again. I'm the chairman, even I'm going to be here for long. And this man, I don't know how to talk. I don't know.
No, that he has. I don't know. I mean, if you believe in witchcraft and juju, maybe that's what he's using. If you believe in God, maybe he's ordained to be president until he's dead. Maybe you can't. Which kind of human being is this? For 40 something years, 45 years, you've set up yourself. No challenge even within the party. Nobody
Even within the party.
The guy. Nothing.
In another West African country, you're hearing about coup d'etat. You can't even think about it. You cannot even think about it.
You will not find a disgruntled general.
General. Never.
You will not find a senior member of government who is disgruntled with this guy. Nothing.
Right. Okay.
He set up a system in a way. I don't know if they are all suspicious of each other, so they can't talk about certain things. Everybody is just like, I'd rather protect myself. I'm not going to talk about this with anybody. Don't talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. That is how he set these people up.
Yeah.
The president of a country leaves for a private, not a state visit, for a private
vacation
to Europe 3 weeks before the elections. 3 weeks before, it tells you that he has no worry about his ability to win. It tells you that he has serious confidence in the machinery that he's already put in place.
Yeah.
It tells you that he has the Cameroonian people in the palms, eating in the palms of his hand.
Yeah. I don't know. On the flip side, what does it tell you about the Cameroonian people?
No, it tells me that the Cameroonians deserve the leader that they have.
They do deserve the leader that they have.
They deserve the terrible president that they have. They deserve the old man. They deserve
The living
an
conditions.
leader. They deserve every one
We do
item that
deserve
the
that.
president is giving them.
We do.
Cameroon, we
Cameroonians, we are.
deserve it.
We deserve it. Honestly speaking, we do deserve it. We deserve the bad roads. We deserve the bad
We
hospitals.
deserve
We deserve
everything.
the bad schools. We deserve the bad economy, the inflation, everything. We deserve it because
We deserve
this guy,
everything.
yeah,
Young
this guy,
unemployment for
we,
youth
yeah,
is 30+%.
the 30
I
plus
know
percent,
young people. You can count the number of young people below 30 who register to vote.
right?
So I guess you deserve what you get.
We do.
If somebody else chooses a president for you, well, you deserve that president because
Oh,
you made no effort to choose the person that you wanted. So you deserve the president, the person that you get.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. We do. We deserve Torbia. Yeah. And what was I going to say? It's and you might look at the video and think, oh, they're only old people supporting him.
No, Jesus, the young.
You'll be disappointed to look at the young youths who, by the way, donated 40 million to aid the
Yes,
campaign of the president.
where they got 40 million from, I don't know. But yeah, they put it together, and I mean, some young people, if you gather them and if somebody gathered them and gave them 40 million to go hand over, you would not see anybody. They would be on their way to Nigeria and Chad or wherever they need to go hide with 40 million that they didn't work for.
Yeah,
These people took 40 million,
and
went
give it to the
over
head.
and handed it over to and said, this is money that we want President Paul Biya to use
For his re-election.
for his re-election.
Um,
Tragic, man.
um,
Tragic.
it's very tragic, and you have to respect somebody who's beating your ass and
They say when man pass, you
and
carry it back, eh?
you carry it back. Yeah, even if you don't agree with him and you're disappointed in the state of the country, but you have to be able to accept, like, well, this paper the spell he's got on Cameroon. It's not easy for anybody to replicate it anywhere in the continent of Africa.
No.
No, you cannot replicate it. Yeah. People can try it in Equatorial Guinea. There are what 3 million people.
It's a small
Um,
crowd. You can
it's a small
crowd
crowd.
control and manage them.
Yeah, you just look at the coup d'etat that's happening in all the French-speaking countries in West Africa. It's not even in the thought process of Cameroonian. Okay, you look at the strike that is happening in Kenya. It's not even in the thought process of Cameroonian. Like the grip, if it's my opinion that if you want to study African politics, the way politics is
You
done
have
by
to start,
Africans in
start
Africa,
here.
you have to come and visit the
Start.
people who have been there for the longest, and he's one of them. So,
I think Paul Biya should be giving a master class
he should be given a
on
master class.
how to stay in office
How to
for
stay in power and
stay in power for an indefinite period of time. He should be
yeah,
giving a master class because what he knows,
yeah.
nobody else.
This is someone who doesn't give press conferences.
No,
This is someone who doesn't talk to the people. This is someone who doesn't make any very few media releases. You see him on 11th February and 20th
20
May.
May, maybe sometime
Well,
New Year. If
maybe
you're
New
lucky.
Year, he gives a speech,
Mhm.
But yeah, he somehow has a grip on the camera, which it's difficult to put your finger on. But there is a psychological, sociological, political dimension that we are just scratching the surface. We have not fully grasped it, and you need a PhD in all of these different fields to be able to figure out why why such a 92-year-old has such a grip on
Right.
a population with most people under 18 years old.
I have Wang Derek says serious political fever in Togo as well. I mean, you were just naming the parts of Africa where
Oh yeah,
there's tension and people are out on the street trying to fight for
yeah,
change. There's coup d'etat
yeah.
here and there. Togo, like Wang Derek mentioned, there's nothing happening in Cameroon.
No.
And then Macron says attire Cameroon. No, you want? Oh, we don't tire.
Oh, no time.
Oh, we don't tire. Oh, we don't tire. Yeah. So It is. It is. Yeah. Again, like I said, it is. We laugh about it, but
The laugh about it is funny.
this is not funny at
Is
all.
yeah, it's funny
There's
at the same
nothing
time.
funny about
It's astonishing. It's intriguing. It's revealing. And uh, to his great credit, Pobia, it says a lot about the grip he has on Cameroonian, but he also says a lot about Cameroonians.
it.
It says a lot about Cameroonians, and I don't think we are at the level that we want change ourselves.
Mm.
We cry about the inflation, about the unemployment, but like you said, we deserve Pobia. We do deserve him.
We are not ready for change. Kamto
No,
himself isn't even ready for change.
Camden's Camden's is not even rich.
He doesn't seem ready for change.
Camden himself is not
Kamto
rich.
is skeptical about the kind of change that we might
Camden
get.
said vote according to your
I wash
conscience.
my hands like Pontius Pilate washing his
The
hands
Pontius Pilate.
and handing over, the elections to people's consciences.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Like he did not know people had consciences when he was running for office. It's
Right.
only now that he realized that people should be left to their own devices to pick the leader that they want.
And then talking as if he's a spiritual director. What do you mean by people to vote according to their consensus? It's like before you even make that. I mean, even the church tells you to follow your conscience, but the church has a role to form your conscience.
Yes.
Yeah, the church has given guidelines according to what the things that are good for your conscience. Okay,
Right.
you're able to love your neighbor. You should be able to avoid sin. You should avoid that sin. You should do this, not do that. The church has put guidelines that's able to guide your conscience. Okay, but when you come and use that in the political milieu, like my man, I beg just find place down because we'll
Yeah.
do our we'll laugh drink our beer. I
I
don't know
mean,
if any wrong,
you
but
laugh because you have not. There's nothing else. You could either be laughing or crying. But since
okay,
we don't want to sit here crying,
yeah,
I mean, the only option now is we laugh. We laugh at our misery, and
yeah.
that's how we deal with
Then
it.
you go take one beer, sleep fine.
And then you
Look at
take
the
one
next
beer, you
day.
weigh your skin, and you see how the next day waka. I mean, again, this is what Cameroonians are experiencing.
Yeah,
You have a hard day. You hang out with a few friends, you laugh about it, you get a bottle of beer, you go home, you wake up in the morning and you do it
start
again, right?
again. Yeah,
That is exactly how there's
yeah,
the surviving, because
yeah.
it's not biscuit like people
No,
would say, right? It's not
no,
biscuit.
no, no.
And I mean, that being said, I want to wish my Cameroonian brothers and sisters, um I don't know what to
Yeah,
wish.
you're speaking from afar. It's not. It's like you're not one of them anymore.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to wish them, because
Yeah, I don't know.
it's not easy. The
It's
stories
a
I hear from back
sad
home, it
reality.
is sad. Bonga Martin says francophones are a serious problem. And again, I mean, we could talk about disagreeing or agreeing to that. They want to
Yeah,
eat omelets, but not willing to break break the eggs.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. To be fair, I don't know if it's a francophone thing. I think it's a
Francophone problem. I
Cameroonian
think
thing.
it's a Cameroonian problem.
Remember, Popia won the election in South and Norwest. Okay,
Yes.
he's probably going to win. You say there's a crisis. He's probably going to win. Okay, because even if you look at the rallies that CPD has in the Northwest, you cannot even
You
compare
can't
with the
even
rallies
compare.
that SDF. The SDF cannot even pull a crown like that. Talk of UNDP and whatever. Okay, it's a Cameroonian thing. We deserve phobia. We we are not innocent participants in this.
No.
We are part of the situation, and if the population could demand better, they could get better. But
They'll get better, right?
we are where we are.
Lara Elsie, of course, is a staunch supporter of the Idle Park Talk Show. It's on, and she says that is why Cameroon is not moving forward. They all seek solace in alcohol. So sad.
What's up? And then remember there's one candidate who came and said the first thing he's going to ban is
Yeah,
alcohol.
that's correct.
Only the way he was shunned by Cameroonians.
You see the way they move it for game completely. They like complete sideline. Even way we raise 30 million, say no even day
What did you
because
talk about 30 million for raise 30 signatures for one region? You could not.
couldn't do it.
Before you talk about 30 million.
Look at this man. You want to take
Our only hope,
our only
our
hope?
only sort of consolation.
Huh?
You want come over.
You can't take out. So yeah, they kicked him to the curb. But again, a good start. Maybe in 7 years he would have built some credibility.
Yeah.
He would have better vision. He would see better. He would know better, right? And again, yeah, it's a good start for a young man to start getting himself.
If come to let's in.
You know, again, that would be if Compton lets him, right? Ghana, do you have anything else you want to bring up?
No, I think we've exhausted everything.
Perfect. Again, good luck to my Cameroonian people. Oh, this period is quite delicate, especially for the people in
Yeah.
the north and southwest province
Right.
regions with the ghost towns and and the civil the unrest and the crime, the high rate of crime and things like that. Elections are coming. Um, I would like that you guys are able to go out and perform your civic duties by choosing the leader that you people want and that you people will deserve, right? I'm not sure if everyone is going to be able to do that, but again, I kind of wish you the best as you
Yeah.
find ways to to express yourselves and to have your voices heard. I know those from the other regions, they if you don't vote, you wouldn't have an excuse. It would be because you either didn't want to vote, and whoever you get as the leader, you better not complain because you made no effort in choosing who you wanted to support you, right?
Absolutely. Eh, be safe.
Keep safe, man. Keep safe. Well, thank you guys for watching. It was quite interesting conversation. We are definitely going to have maybe one or two more conversations before the election, and then
Before the elections, yeah.
how things turn out. And we are definitely going to keep you talking about
We'll
things
be
that are
following
happening,
closely.
following very closely.